Hello, I'm an old guy and I do maths. Today we're looking at fractional indices. And these can be quite intimidating, but there's no reason for them to be. So, a fractional index is a number or a pronumeral raised to the power of a fraction. And the key to dealing with these is to understand what each part of this fraction does. So, this denominator here is the root, and this numerator is the power. Now, what does that mean? It means that individually you find whatever y is, the root of this number or pronumeral. So it's like writing this. The y root of a. And then, usually then, it's often easier to work with the denominator first, but not always. You raise whatever the result of this is to this power. So you could write this like that, and often you will see expressions written like this, and they can be translated between what you might call surd form and index form. And this is particularly useful later on in high school and at university when you're dealing with things like calculus, because calculus doesn't particularly like surds, and therefore it's a good idea to be able to move between the two forms, and indeed it may be worth my doing a video on that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get straight into this and show you in practical terms how this works. And we've got three examples here, one of which is negative. Don't fret. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at this, and what we're going to do is we're going to find the third root of 64. Now the third root of 64 is 4, because 4 times 4 is 16 times 4 is 64. And so the third root of 64 is 4. So that's dealt with. We now have to deal with this, which is the power. So we found the third root of 64, which is 4. And we're now going to work with this. And 4 squared is 16. So 64 to the power of 2 over 3 is 16. And we did that by finding the third root of 64 and then squaring it. So the root, the power. And there's our answer. Let's try it on this. It's a similar sort of example, but we've got an improper fraction as our index. That makes no great difference. We find the third root of 125, which is 5, and then we raise that to the power of 4. So, same process as before. We take one of these. We do one thing at a time. We take one of these. We take the easy one to deal with, which is to find the third root of 125. That is 5, and then we raise it to the power of 4, and that is 625. Okay, now I hope that's reasonably straightforward. So that's what we do with positive indices. It's not too much different with negative indices. Where you've got a negative index, so for example, if we have 5 to the power of negative 2, we know that that is 1 over 5 to the power of 2, or 1 over 25. So, sorry, just let me get that back in focus. So we know that 5 to the power of negative 2 is 1 over 5 squared, or 1 over 25. The same rule applies here. This is 1 over 8 to the power of 5 over 3. And so we can go to work on this in this condition. So there it is, 1 over 8 to the power of 5 over 3. We've got rid of the negative sign. We will come back to that. We will probably rewrite this with a negative index at the end of this process. Okay, so let's go to work. So that is 1 over, what's the third root of 8? Well, it's 2. 2, 4, 8. Third root of 8. So we are looking at 2 to the power of 5. We found the third root of 8, which is 2. We're now raising it to the power of 5, and that is 1 over 32. 2 to the power of 5 is 32. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. You can do this on your fingers. I'm going to do it here. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. That's how I do my powers of 2. Okay, so we've got what we set out to achieve. If we were going to rewrite this in index form, what we would say is it is 2 to the power of negative 5, which is a bit pointless, but we're back to 1 over 32. Really, in this form, all we've done is the bottom part of this, so it really is a bit pointless doing this. Occasionally, you do have to put these back in index form, so I apologize for taking a detour down a blind alley. Can we write this another way? Yes, we can. We can write this in surd form. I'm just going to do it the once here, because this can be both useful and at the same time intimidating. So what we are looking for is we're looking for the third root of 8. To the power of 5. That and that and that are the same thing. I hope that was useful. Thank you very much for watching. See you later.